Everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome to March, spring month, new season for World Business Mastermind. You do represent the world, and the world is your fine ground, fertile ground to really build anything you want in your life, in all areas of life. These monthly mastermind meetings hosted by You've Got the Power and myself with any co-host, that could be any of you at any time, are geared to really be a safe environment for you to let your creativity go, feed off anybody else's mind and heart, and really see what comes up. Because when do we have the option to really do that? To be uncensored, unfiltered, safe, in with like-minded, like-hearted individuals, fellow entrepreneurs, prosperity oriented, so for yourself and for your community. So this is really a very safe place for you to do that. And I know we've tossed around a variety of topics. We're leaving it again open topic for today. And in one of the upcoming months, it would be more tailored to a specific topic that you requested. So remember, all successful people have this type of mastermind at least once a month. So we are walking the talk and making it happen with one another. So hot trendy topics have been anywhere around sustainability, cleaner sources of energy and of investments for your own personal investments and for your own family, such as sustainability. Then then some other topics have been numerology, which, whether you believe it or not, may have a universal impact in your life. They're just general universal principles. Michael has offered to help out with that. Is an expert at it. And let's see, some other topics, of course, always prosperity, marketing, and my marketing person and team has agreed to do one for us in the upcoming month. They're also the owner of the CRM that I use, that is in 3 languages. Okay. And let's see. So this is what you have been requesting. We always do our best to be futuristic oriented and cutting edge. So let's just start with introducing ourselves and just say one thing that's on our mind. And again, don't filter. So I'll start. My name is Dr. Pezzini. I'm Italian American, and I am a doctor in let's just say business psychology and a certified coach. And what's on my mind is really post-COVID, and getting us situated and positioned in a beautiful place to take advantage of this post-COVID time that's about to start. And welcome David from the UK. So we're just doing the introduction, and then we'll start our mastermind process. So coach and post-COVID. Okay, so let's start with Matt. Here we go. Your intro, who you are, what's on your mind.
Thank you, Elena. My name is Matt Shelley. I'm here in the U.S., in New York metro area. And my day job is I'm a CEO of a developmental disabilities multi-service agency. In my spare time, I do various kinds of investing. And I think what's on my mind is a decision about whether to take the vaccine or not, and which vaccine I would favor, since I'm taking my time to decide very carefully. And a much more mundane thing on my mind can be summed up in one word, and that's Bitcoin. The Bitcoin craze is all around. So I may have to look to my friend Michael Lloyd on this call for a Bitcoin primer because I don't want to miss the boat, but I also don't want to get run over by the train. And with that, I'm in.
Great. Thank you so much, Matt. And let's hear from you, Annie.
Hello, everyone. My name is Annie Belanger. I'm from Montreal, Canada, in the midst of winter. I'm a business owner. I own a company that deals in extended warranty for cars and RV vehicles and any type of thing that has a motor attached to it. It's a very fun business to have. And what's on my mind? Well, actually, we can talk about vaccines, Matt, because my husband is going tonight to get his, and you know that's been on our mind quite a bit because we're in a red area where we cannot do anything, so we're really anxious to get the vaccine so we can go back to some type of normal lives again.
Great. Thank you so much. And Jillian.
Hi, my name is Jillian from Brooklyn, New York, and I'm a real estate broker. What's on my mind? I guess pretty much like everyone else is the COVID vaccine. Should I take it or shouldn't I take it? And if I take it, which one should I take? I mean, the Janssen one sounds intriguing because it's only one dose, but still up in the air about it a little bit, about the whole vaccine thing. So,
yeah, well, Jillian from New York City, one of the places most hit on earth, along with Italy, is a former nurse and comes from a medical family of doctors. So definitely may have some intel. We were hoping to actually have to have today being co-hosted by our Irish first respondent. She's been all this time for a year. I think you guys have met her. Dr. Habib. So I will, if you want, Matt, send me an email and I'll put you in touch with her directly, okay? As well. Okay. Okay. So, all right. Thank you so much. And very good. And same for you, Jillian. Okay. But listen to your heart. I mean, we may not even have an option. I don't know. It's become so political. I don't know if it's going to become mandatory to travel. So, you know, in my case, I personally would rather not take the vaccine. And my whole family lives in Italy. So I don't know how I'm going to make it across the pond by boat, or probably even the boat may require, and it would be a long swim. So we'll see. But I'll wait as long as possible for sure.
pretty much.
Yeah.
And I have to say, the physicians in my family have taken the vaccine. So, you know, they all suggest to take it. They taken the Moderna.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't know the long-term effects, of course, because we're the first guinea pigs. So we'll see. Okay.
Elena, can I just say one thing about the vaccine? I talked to my naturopath about it, who's also a nurse practitioner, and her point of view is that the vaccines are okay to take, but choose very carefully. And she said, if you have a choice of Pfizer versus Moderna, take Moderna. Yes. But if you're considering Johnson & Johnson, Johnson & Johnson uses older technology, which is more established. And although it may not look as effective on the face of it, it does prevent hospitalization and death. So it really comes down to Are you a new technology person or an old technology person? If you're new, choose Moderna over Pfizer. If you're old, choose Johnson & Johnson. And that helped me a lot to give me a quick rubric to be able to think through a little more carefully, what kind of vaccinator am I, if I'm even a vaccinator?
Sure, exactly. Well, Biden here has vouched that by May, he wants to have enough vaccine for all adults. So we're in March now, we'll see. Okay, thank you so much. And let's hear from Michael. Your intro and...
Yeah, hi everyone, my name's Michael Lloyd. I'm the owner of a gardening business in Melbourne, Australia. It's a high-end service that I attempt to provide people, not necessarily just the rich people, but it's not cheap services. It's high-quality gardening for anyone that needs it and wants it. I'm looking to build systems, employ people, and possibly shift into the training ground a bit more as well with the general public through online stuff. What's on my mind at the moment? Well, very briefly, I don't know what to say about it. My van broke down yesterday and I'm off the road with about 10 jobs to move and 3 days at home. So it's all interesting for the business. I could do some more admin. I'm very interested in the vaccine as well, actually. I think that it's been mentioned if we sort of got everyone's take on that a bit, but it's a very fine line between conspiracy theories and factual reporting that are going on and not going on. So a lot of stories about it from nurses and frontline people in the UK that I've been privy to that are pretty concerning as well in the old people's homes with new outbreaks being associatable with it. So, and the impacts on the DNA and potential resilience to other illnesses in the short to mid-term got me a bit frightened. So I just think what we need to do is some kind of social statement about the general inhibition to the making of it mandatory. That can only happen if all of us really give it enough yes. Surely we can step away from the agreeance and obsession in mandatory for our safety. We're just too frightened. That's my thoughts.
Okay, thank you, Michael. So yeah, petitions could work. So hopefully we will have some choice. We'll see. The movie Contagion, how many of you have watched it? Yeah, okay. So it's an all-star cast. It's 10 years old. It's science fiction. Well, it was supposed to be science fiction. It predicts exactly COVID. Now it's a reality. But perhaps the movie goes over conspiracy theory a little bit too, and the pharmaceutical. So you can make it your own interpretation, but it's a good cast. And it's dense with information. So you may need to watch it twice, but I strongly recommend it. And Jody, introduce yourself and what's on your mind.
Hello, everybody. My name is Jody. I'm originally from Phoenix, Arizona. I've been here in Las Vegas for going on 7 years in May. And I work at the Platinum Elite Group with Don in his marketing department. And what's on my mind, believe it or not, it hasn't been the COVID shot. I hear everybody talking about it and all their side effects, but what I'm trying to figure out right now is how am I going to be getting a lot of my items from my old house into my new house, which items I'm wanting to get rid of, and if there is anything I want to keep, and which ones are going to trash. So I just got a new house, so I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with it right now.
Okay, so some move with organization for you, maybe some decluttering, etc. Okay, well, hopefully Don can help you with that too. Yeah. Thank you. And David, you're new to our mastermind. You're very welcome. So nice to see you. So these are all like-minded and like-hearted individuals from all over the world. You're in great hands. So we speak all the same language. Why don't you introduce yourself and what's on your mind?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so my name's David and living in UK. I'm a regular employee in the UK power industry. I've got a little bit of property investment going on, like real estate. And I did have a very small interest in an Amazon business, but that fell by the wayside. And I'm very much, I could go any direction at the moment, back into Amazon, focus on real estate, maybe financial services. So I'm looking for inspiration and from above and to forge ahead in the direction that I can commit to and be enthusiastic with it. About the COVID vaccine, I think I'm surprised in the US. Do you get a choice? Because in the UK, I think we're just given the one that comes up in our locality and pertaining to our age group. I think it's a good thing to take. I think we have to trust that there have been sufficient trials. It's a way of taking back control from the virus, I think. That's my opinion. But it may be wrong, but what do I know? And the only thing on my mind, apart from certain, I'd like to move into a bigger house so my family can spread their wings a wee bit more. But also on a global scale, there's quite a lot of countries basically shooting their citizens at this time for protesting, and that's the biggest thing on my mind. I don't have any magic answers, but it's sad to see that some citizens of some countries have to protest. They feel the need to, and the government oppress them in a bad way. So that's on my mind.
Yes. Right. Yeah. And David has spent quite a little bit of time in the Middle East on projects, so has very much a very international, broad perspective. So I just want to remind you, thank you so much, David, and welcome. I want to remind you, exactly a year ago, I co-hosted a mastermind with Jillian all about increase, and we didn't even know that, we weren't even sure what COVID was at the time, all about boosting your immune system, okay? So you will find the replay here on the website, and it's exactly, let me find it. It was in February, right, Jillian? Supposed to be, yeah, here we go. How to stay healthy, here we go. Okay, so it's, yeah, you'll find it right there. Perfect. So another great resource, I mentioned that, oh, here we go. I mentioned it to you last, before, but it's another great documentary called Endgame 2050. So as any, and that will help you with investments too, and a cleaner earth. So copy link, okay. Has any of you watched it? Yeah, okay, Jillian has watched. Do you want to say a little something? Okay, this was the direct link of our mastermind on immune system booster. Go for it. Just summarize it. I would love to hear your take on it, Jillian.
What? I found the movie very intriguing, especially with things that's going on today now, with diet and this greenhouse and the cow emissions. I kind of didn't understand that, but that movie made it a little bit more clearer. And yeah, we got to save our planet. And really think about what we're putting in, what we're eating. The biggest take back I got from that, I don't eat fish, but I was thinking about, with this plant-based way of living, it would be okay to once in a while have some fish. But then when I'm watching the movie and they're talking about all the plastic that's in the ocean, how the fish are eating the plastic. And even though I wouldn't dare not feed my family anything farm raised, so wild caught, but you're getting this wild caught fish. And when you eat it, you're eating the ingested plastic too. And we really don't know the outcome of how it's going to be from ingesting the plastic. So from that little bit, that one stuck to my mind, but it just made me really think. It just really, really made me think.
Right.
Plant-based.
Thank you. Yes, and it's more. It's also. It's not just about plant-based. It's
No,
really
it's not.
about,
Yeah.
you know, the energy and using renewable resources to stay cleaner inside and outside, the air you breathe, everything. So, and these are all resources. Okay, I'm not pushing my own agenda on me. You all have to on you. You all have to make. And Jillian isn't either. You all have to make informed decision. Knowledge is power. Yes. And get the resources and then decide for yourself. So we have a 442 area code. Would you like to introduce yourself? Oops. I think we scared him or her. Dropped out. All right. So, okay. So now that you know who your peers are, let's really make it a safe container. It's called, in business, it's called think tank, right? Think tank. So we're in a think tank, and let's use everybody's neurons, because more minds is better than one. So who would like to go first? David, you get used to the process. So there is one hot seater person in the hot seat in the middle of the circle, pointing a question, an idea, and everybody around masterminds. And who would like to go first? Don't be shy. Unmute.
All right, I'm going to jump in with some personal relevant thing that's a little bit general as well. I'm having a lot of problems with the divisiveness of the partisan nature of everything everywhere, and I'm identifying with some massive potential losses for all of us. It's got to do with good ideas being flagged by the wrong side. And in this case, rather than sort of my normal rant on this, it's more great ideas on the environment, things that would be good progressively, that are being represented through, well, anger and violence and censorship and alongside of stuff that I could never endorse. But we don't want to throw the baby in the bathwater out. And I'm hearing all the time about new media, new conservative ways of representing ideas and running businesses. And it seems like we're looking at seriously on a business model moving forward, a second realm of interactions and communications. And I'm even seeing it with my customers, the people that see what I do properly from a business point of view, want to reward it properly and understand business, and other people that sort of want it to be somehow paid for by the government and want it cheap, and they are not my kind of people. But I just thought I'd open up a little bit to sort of see, I guess, how different people are coping with this partisan nature of everything, and that'll give us a chance to do some healing in a safe way that's not going to be attacking either side. And it's a very big issue for me globally, nationally, and just with my customers and my interpersonal base at the moment.
Okay, so rephrase the question succinctly so we understand and remember, and then we mastermind about it, around it.
Well, I just think that it's important that we get the mix between a good idea and it being worth pursuing, no matter where it sort of comes from, and if a whole lot of people believe in it, and then we all get on board with it, and just ways that we see the current, I guess, advertising climate and media climate affecting what we're trying to achieve with communicating with customers and things. It's a bit of a rave of an idea, but the partisan nature of people is becoming more obvious to me in short conversation, and a lot of good ideas are being flagged by one side or the other, and we need to come together on the inspiration put, and investments too, because what's in flux now with ideals and vision is really going to affect what any of us can afford to invest in right now. Even Bitcoin, these things are going to go way good or really bad. And it depends on a lot of this harmony process that's challenging. I just thought if we had a whip around on some, just however vaguely people interpret that as being relevant to them.
Okay, so Michael, let's do one question at a time. One question. I know that I think there were more than one question in what you explained. We have to stay apolitical, okay? In this platform, we have, because I'm gonna get a lawsuit. So, so let's start with. I mean, is it more like how to inspire people towards something? I'm not clear. Can you do your best to like pick the first question and give it to us like it is?
Regarding the environment and a person's business, it's important if you want to invest in the business and grow something that works into the future. It's really tricky when there are some really different approaches at the moment as to, you know, how to do best practice, and the obsession in climate change.
Okay. Okay, we're getting somewhere. So more like investing in your own environment, how to be sustainable in your own home or living situation. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that'll do.
Yeah.
I'm having a problem with things like, say, electric cars, right?
Yeah.
If some states in America want to have no more sale of old cars by 2035, that means if you just bought a brand new one, you'd be just wanting to sail it through till that point, or get rid of it sooner. So people are going to get electric cars, and it's been flagged as sort of a left-wing thing, which is coming hand in hand with a lot of other concepts of government and things like that. And where does a person go to if they just want the best kind of car, the best for the planet and the best for efficiency and fuel and money? So the problem is, how do we keep as a team and in our own life pursuing best practice amidst all of this partisan grabbing and representing of different ideas and ideals?
Don't use that word partisan, because I will get flagged, I promise you. So I have an idea. So one of our previous replays are about Tower Garden, and you don't have to go with Tower Garden. It can be something similar, that where you plant the seeds and it grows vertically, so you can use air rights and airspace. Okay, you can create your own system if you don't want that. It's kind of like hydroponic, but the pump actually comes from Italy, and it works like a charm. But you don't have to have an Italian pump. You can use. I actually want to show it to you because it took me. And Jillian, you can show us yours. She's doing great in New York with that system. It took me several times to get it to work. I'll show it to you. Somehow it was either too hot or too cold, or I was putting too many minerals. But I want to show you guys, because you were on that mastermind. Sorry, that's my laundry room. I want to show you the result. I was stuck in an ice storm in Texas, but somehow look at the Tower Garden did great. This is 3 weeks worth of seeding. Look at all that lettuce. Doesn't it look great?
That's cool.
There you go. Finally, it took 3 times. Third time is a charm. Okay, let's see yours, Jillian. That's a great investment. I think everybody could have something like that, because it's got wheels, so you can move it around if you live in a
Mine looks a little, they'll be fooled by, because I've actually had this one growing since September. So I'm ready to start changing. I don't know if you can see it here. How do you do that?
Ah, wow, look at that.
Yeah.
Very luscious, very luscious.
Yeah, to change all of this up here and ready to put in new ones. These here have lasted me about 8 weeks. But I have greens and I have basil growing there and stuff. So yeah, it's a good investment, especially during COVID. I wasn't worried about my lettuce being contaminated. being
So
pulled off the shelf because it was mine. It was on.
very nice, beautiful, good job. You've been eating off of that for
Yes, I have. That's why I said it lasts for about 8 to 12 weeks, and I'm there at the 12 weeks. That's why it's looking a little shabby.
sure. So Michael, you don't, Dr. Divgi wouldn't like me to say this, but you don't have to use that. You can create your own
Yes.
Michael's garden, whatever it's called, you know? Okay.
Yeah, there are a lot of creative business ideas I'm working on, and that's awesome, that tower garden. It is a good thing for those that have it and get their fresh stuff. Yeah, good example of sustainability and environmental cool and all of that. Yeah.
Matt.
Something similar called Arrow Garden, and it's been working wonders. And I'm so glad that I don't need to buy my fresh herbs at the store with all over packaging and not knowing whether they use pesticides or what have you. I just cut it from my plant and I know exactly where it came from. So, it's a way to be greener with your greens.
Absolutely, yeah. With Amazon and all those businesses, there's so much packaging that's not very eco-friendly. Good point. Thank you, Annie. And Matt had something to add.
Michael, you back? You're muted. Okay.
Yes, I am. Yep.
Okay. Well, so when you were started off originally, before Elena asked you to condense the question, I was getting a hint that where your breakdown, what you were describing, I just want to see if I'm right so I know how to answer. I got the feeling that you were talking about your clients having differing viewpoints and that it can be challenging to know how to work with people when they have different viewpoints on the environment and on issues and partisan issues as you described them. And so I'm wondering, just so I can frame my remarks, is where you're going trying to figure out how to align or create alignment with your clients who have differing viewpoints so that you and they can be successful together?
Yes, well, that's a big part of my challenge all the time with the clients. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty fair to say. Probably just got a bit lost, and I'm probably hoping Elena will move on with the next person soon. But,
no, but Matt has something else to say. Just take a deep breath, Michael, and soak it in. Yeah. Soak it in. It is good.
Yeah, my sense, Michael, is that I'm never going to solve the world's problems, and I can get lost in the bigness of it. But you're a shining light in your industry. I mean, you show up to the clients and you know more about gardening, sustainable gardening, and your vision than they do. And so I think a big part of this is about, the old cliche of being the change that you want to see in the world. A big part of it is about educating, enrolling, engaging, inspiring your clients. And I dare say not working with those clients who don't reflect your values, who aren't going to get with the program and the bigness of what you're creating. You're not a gardener, you're an outside landscape artist and or expert, and I think it's about attracting the kinds of people whose vision you can see through. They can see your vision into their domicile.
It's really important because, you may have some very big clients being profitable clients money-wise, but they can drag you down if they're not the type of people that you like to work with. And you have to have the courage sometimes to fire your biggest client when the relationship is just toxic. And, I've done it. And I know, like, my husband has done it, fire your biggest client because those people were just pain in the butts, and I'm being polite. And you look at the lost opportunity money-wise, but then it frees you up to go out, as Matt said, and attract people who are like-minded and to make you grow even further.
That absolutely nails it with a lot of things. Just while you were talking, I realized I've been upset all week over one of my very big clients that is very differing in ideologies with me. Between you and what Matt have said, to try and helped me make sense of that earlier, has grounded it a bit. Another problem is some of these people believe that they're really into the environment, but they just act, in my case, with this situation, but they don't realize that they have a shallow take on it, and they're treating it more like an object than a living thing. It's actually this idea of treating things and situations like objects and numbers instead of living things that I'm up against. And I thought it was a bit cheeky probably, but I had to align it up with a little bit of this stuff that's going on with people's ideologies at the moment about how much we need to lean on a big government and get more support from COVID and be governmenty. And there's a natural system in people and in survival and in the economic regrowth that I think we're all part of as business owners. And that, you know, it's just really tricky inspiring people that are buying the fear out of the media. And I'm getting some customers saying ridiculous things to me about their garden and their future and how they see their property ownership and money, and worried about climate change to the point where they're doing silly things in their garden, which is also taking something really to a wrong place. And so I just thought you really nailed it. I think I did give them 2 stern texts last week about how it wasn't cool. And he came back and said, all right, can you do the work for this much money? Which was more than he wanted to give me before. But I went and did it, but it was all wrong. And what he wanted to do was wrong. And the approach is wrong. And it's too cheap. It's too nasty. He's got tenants. He's got good money coming in. I can't work with it. So I think I might fire the customer and it might help me. Thank you.
Beautiful. And to wrap it up, can I say I work with all over the world any given day, and my sense is that Australia did as a continent did better than all the other 4 during COVID, and the way they handled it, you know, and their numbers and what they did or not did, their measure. And I think a lot has to do with how they treat the environment. So for better or worse, I think that was the safest place to be. I wanted to be in Australia and do a leadership retreat over there, right? But I didn't come because of COVID. They would not have let me in. And so anyway, Michael, you are in a great continent, and you are part of that victory that your continent did really, really well during COVID. So take some kudos. And
yeah, I think we haven't seen the financial impact of the lockdowns and stuff yet. I think it's 6 to 12 months away when we're going to start to realize how many people nearly completely ran out of money. You know, it's just the shops are opening up, people are getting their trickle through now, and things are happening. But as we know with small business, sometimes you can't jump back on that surfboard and be on the same wave. You have to rebuild that up a bit. And it's not been a problem for my situation, but it's right around the world. I think it is just 2 years, and we just small businesses got to help small businesses. I'm into better pricing, fairer stuff, happy people. Yeah,
you are a necessity. And I think you all are in your niche. So Michael, did I give you some food for thoughts for now?
Yeah, totally cool.
Great. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you everybody. Great round. Let's start another round and maximize our time. David, are you getting the hang of this? Good.
Yeah, I'm getting the hang of it. I don't have any subjects, so I need to discuss at this time. But
okay, sounds good.
I'm happy to listen and contribute.
Yeah, contribute. Yeah, yes. Stay.
I can go, Elena.
Go, Matt. Matt is the showest member of our group.
I'll throw this topic out. I worry it's too esoteric, but I did bring up Bitcoin before. You don't have to know about Bitcoin to be able to give me your feedback. My feedback is about, all of us are passive investors, I'm sure, in one way or another, in addition to our whatever day jobs we have. And I'm looking at this Bitcoin thing with different sides of the coin, as it were. One is sort of the millionaire mind, T. Harv Eker. I always want to be investing in systems and vehicles and processes that work instead of me. On the other hand, I've gotten burned by a couple of investments. I've gotten burned by oil. I've gotten burned by foreign exchange. So I don't know which side of the coin, so to speak, to be looking at Bitcoin with, especially because it's gotten so expensive. But I would love to hear from people who have invested over time and sort of maybe what you've learned as you approach that next investment to be able to make a good decision.
I was just having that conversation with my IT person this morning. And basically, I just like you got burned out by some investments. And of course, it's part of the life of investments. I also got burned out by hackers in the past, and I've been hacked. And so that's why I have so much resistance towards crypto, because it's been invented by hackers, right? But my IT person this morning just told me, get over it. I mean, come on, just get over it. Like, you have to do it. You have to invest in crypto or you're going to miss out. So as of now, number one is Cardano. As of yesterday, from what I hear, is the number one crypto that is the strongest. Second strongest is Bitcoin. Third strongest is Ethereum. There you go. And if you need ideas of where to purchase them, I can email me. I'll send you a list of brokerages.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, perfect. Let's hear from David.
Yeah, Elena, can I mention another trainer, a
Yeah.
well-known,
Please, yeah.
Robert Kiyosaki? Well, I took some training from his paper assets advisor, Andy Tanner, and it was really good. I didn't take up the training and apply it for for working with the stock market, but his advice, I got a lot out of it. And Robert Kiyosaki is also promoting education about Bitcoin or amongst the others. I've forgotten the generic name for them now, but I would suggest there is training out there from possibly Robert Kiyosaki or others, other respected trainers that would give some knowledge to be able to make safe decisions. So I would just say take the training from someone you trust.
Great, thanks. Yeah, I know somebody else who's got great results from that same training. I can put you in touch, Matt, if you want. And
Well, all I want to say is that the one concern I would have with Bitcoin is that it's, or any other type of crypto, is that it's not based on any real monetary system, and that it's mainly used to hide money, to launder money with criminal activities. And my concern is that we, as honest, mainstream investors, have a chance to get swiped out in the process when regulators, dig into this, and what's the liquidity and the facility to withdraw your money when you need it. So I will stay with until, I come from a banking world. I worked for 20 years in banks, so maybe that's my bias. But what I've seen over the years is a lot of tightening up with anti-money laundering regulations, and it's not going to get easier. It's going to get more and more stricter, and that applies in Canada, in the States, and pretty much all over the world. So I will take a pass on that for a good while until we have more security around it.
so Annie, no crypto for you for now.
No. But I invested in the CBD and cannabis products, though, quite heavily in a private venture. Actually, I just had a meeting last week, and I invested quite a bit of money in there. So that's my risky portion of my portfolio.
Yeah, that's a commodity. Very good.
Yeah.
Goes back to Michael. Michael, maybe that could be something for you too.
Yeah, yeah. Now, I put some money in Bitcoin about 6 months ago through a friend's encouragement scheme. His providers of that actually went down, completely went down. So I put less than 500 in it and I lost all of that. But that wasn't because of Bitcoin as such. It was because of the way that I had been introduced to the Bitcoin market. So I think it's very important to not only have the account in it, but to go pretty direct to a Bitcoin purchase point of credibility, because there are other people on selling it and playing middle roles. So that's what happened here. My friend that put me onto it actually lost 10,000, which was 50% of his 20,000 withdrawal on his long-term superannuation. And he lost that whole lot. So that's very recent. So yeah, we get burned. I've never done a lot of investing, so I haven't been burned a lot, but I've been burned small, probably to the same frequency with small amounts. But Bitcoin is quite high at the moment. And I think that you're better off still buying stuff if you want a big raise when it's a bit lower. It's turbulent. So if you do want to put some money in it, just watch it for 4 weeks at least, like that roulette wheel, and just pick a low point to get in. And the other thing is, if I had plenty of money, how I would approach it through the analysis I'm doing on it, because I am curious, I would probably put in a certain amount of money that yielded enough money from projected Bitcoin growth to do something like buy my petrol once or twice a month. Because if you get that full circle working, because apparently you can use it for PayPal and you can get cards that use it. So I would put an amount of money in and try to divert living costs out of other cash flow centers to the growth of that money by using Bitcoin and testing it out as a paying currency. Because you don't want to lean on something and then find out you can't use it half the places, or it doesn't work that well. And again, it comes back to the notions I had earlier, that sort of the different political ideals and movement of the economy and the Reserve Bank and things are going to really play into this issue very hotly in the next 12 months. Like, a lot of money went from Elon Musk, from the Tesla into Bitcoin, and the shares had an impact from that. The consumers weren't that confident in that choice, perhaps. And so I would just pick a bit and play with it. I'd love to be able to take out my Bitcoin card and buy my petrol with it. And I'd love to be able to do that for 3 months in a row on the same amount of money that I put in. Just that's my take.
That's great. Thank you, Michael.
Great. Thank you. Very nice. Okay. So, of course, yeah, staying diversified as much as possible, investing the minimum and see how it performs is always the rule of thumb. Yeah, I mean, anything that's new, kind of like CBD, crypto, vaccine, a lot of money in investing in vaccine stocks too. It's a risk, of course, because it's new, doesn't have track records, but if you can afford to invest the minimum that you could lose, if worse comes to worse, you could. Yeah, with CBD, Matt and I talked about it before. It still hasn't been as successful because I don't think people really knows how to use that seed or market it for healing properties. And even with people and animals, as you know, I have a nonprofit that rescues a lot of animals. You've probably seen one, tiger walking behind me. It works for some, for a variety of medical problems, and it doesn't work for others. Same for humans. So who knows? Yeah. All right. Very good. Great. Okay. Was that helpful, Matt?
That was very helpful. Thank you, everybody.
Great. Okay. So we're almost at the hour. We can do one more round. If you, ladies and gentlemen, have topics and have time.
Is it a good time for people to consider joint ventures and different people capitalizing new businesses together? Is anyone else sort of feeling that around them, that it's time to maybe work with someone to do something new? I'm quite excited on that front, because I think that some businesses dying, and I think there's a lot of people available that are fleeing industries that are not sustainable right now. So there'd be a lot of people looking to perhaps join something good and well planned and new. Is anyone thinking about their short to mid-term options with that? What about something brand new kind of thing? I thought I've got a few on myself, but I thought I'd put that to everyone to offer feedback.
Okay, great idea. Great idea. Anything is possible. We're all in a virtual world, probably for good. So there are no limits of geography anymore. So you can really think beyond your geographical boundaries, which is beautiful. Which is beautiful. I know Annie has a lot of experience with that, Matt as well, even in the round of nonprofit, which there is still so much unexplored with the nonprofit sector that can get great fundings if used properly. Yeah. And
You know, Michael, you were talking a few months ago about the difficulty of hiring people, and we were talking about joint venture, and just thinking off the top of my head, you know, nonprofit, it makes me think of maybe some handicapped person who could be helping you in your projects, and you know, it helps you, but at the same time it helps them because it gives them, you know, a chance to build their self-esteem and to learn some new skills. So maybe it's an avenue that you could consider in research.
Yeah, I think rehabilitation, I think COVID attitude swamp rehabilitation might be an energy that I could utilize to work with some people in a cooperative sense in the future. Yeah, it's not, for me, when I think about it, it's possibly slightly related to gardening, but it's really kind of just new, and it's got to do with the new ways we're doing business.
Yes.
We've got 5G coming in, and there's, you know, the economy's shifting greatly because small businesses, like I said earlier, bombing out, and there's needs not being met, and there's bigger parties playing roles in things. I just think that in the community sense, and I guess I'm not big on non-profit stuff. I just think that it's better off having a straight business case. But you know, I think post-COVID, sort of, it's what I'm saying. There's people on the loose. There's new technologies coming through. There's the direction of society in flux. Then there's this question we've all got on about how to invest. And I think there's a very challenging environment. I'm investing, number one, in self-development. I'm just trying to be better all the time in all things I do. Great routines, health, and visioning, just handling the flexibility requirements of the short term better and better all the time. But I think there are new things to come to the table, delivering satisfaction. There's a lot of coaching things, like, because so many coaches around, and some of them are looking for more clients and not busy, but well, they could be busy if that got fit with all the people that need it. And so just different forums for projects, I suppose, rather than saying start a new business, let's start exciting projects to do with post-COVID with others, with other businesses, business to business link ups that are exciting and innovative to our current context. It's a little bit
one thing I'd say, when I took Never Work Again, which is an offering for Millionaire Mind, Peak Potentials, I remember them saying that if you want to develop passive income businesses, I'm not saying this is what you want, but I'm using it as an example. They said, think about what you do in your main business, and then how might you collaborate or joint venture or outsource or insource or do something off your main business as your next venture. And it always struck with me because a lot of people were at Never Work Again hating their day jobs and wanting to get away from them and start something brand new. But the success rate of starting something brand new out of the gate is tricky because you're learning the sector that other people have been competing in for 30 years, 50 years. So the only thing I would offer here is that I agree the world's gotten very flat and you're a very charismatic and knowledgeable person. But I wonder if your next joint venture should be leveraging your current day job business to do something interesting and new as an offshoot of that, rather than going into a brand new pond, so to speak.
Yeah, I think that's right on. That's sort of how I'm seeing it. Something kind of new, but it grows out of it. But
like if you want to put together gardening courses online, I would sign up right away because I'm so bad at it. But if I had somebody that could walk me through every week with, you know, I would go for that.
You remind me of my number one marketing hook there when I get in the zone on this topic. I can help a person that thinks they can't garden actually achieve gardening success. And I have seen the look on people's face a few times with that. And it is very healing to realize that we can do something that we thought we couldn't do. Yeah, to use that as a real thing about the reach out and who can participate. And it also it still shows the desire to beat that hurdle that people would like to learn. And then that's all I need, a little bit of commitment, and then we can do anything. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah, so thank you everyone for those ideas and for humoring me on my raves. I'm very into trends. I'm very much into what we're all going through at the moment. And I see our streets, I see the business, I know where people are at. And I just think, what can we do? And I think every time I try to make a 2-year plan, it gets back to politics, because there's so many ramifications right now. Like our relationship with China is very curious, and we have to see what the next 12 months holds. So that's why I'm just back into self-development and dreaming the dream. And so I'm opening up some of these semi-philosophical points for people to contemplate. It's really futurism. We've got to be very real about the fact that 2050 is around the corner. There are a whole lot of different visions painted about that place. And if there's any free choice in it at all, it's right now.
But do you get your seeds from China, Michael?
No.
Right. So you don't really depend from.
We've had problems with things like pots and containers, and a lot of the gardening tools are impacted in our country from supply. No manufacturing happened in Europe last year. Like Husqvarna I use for tree work and things. And I bought apparently one of the last chainsaw blades in Australia about 2 or 3 months ago, because they just weren't making them for a period. So there's a lot of industries going to really suffer 24-month impacts from the non-productivity of the lockdowns. And it's going to change our lifestyles. But we all have to really stop being shallow and obsessed on comfort and recreation. Get the natural happiness that comes from doing something that's important to us and achieving little goals. And that's better than a comfy lounge suite and a great TV show. So we really need to shift our focus and build value.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we have to be a little resourceful. Even my hairstylist was telling me, I do have gray hair and I color it. So the only 2 products that are vegan, organic, like I want them, no chemicals, either come from Australia or Italy. So she said that during COVID, she couldn't get them. And so that made her try to figure out how to create her own products out of fruits, vegetables, seeds, and nuts. So not easy, but this goes back to sustainability, and I'm hoping to have an expert come on one of the next masterminds, who's an actually expert in emergency preparedness, former military, sustainability, etc. Because I was stuck in an ice storm last month, and I did not have 2 weeks worth of water and 2 weeks of food, to survive, and it was pretty dire straits. So yeah, I think you can really help out with that, Michael. And I think all of us have to have your own plan, to be sustainable just in case something happens. We cannot get our products from God knows where, China or wherever. So we have to be resourceful, be independent. Okay. So, but you all have huge minds and hearts and are super smart. So I know we'll figure it out. So okay, so I just to wrap it up, and thank you, great work today. Let's go in around robin really quick. We'll wrap it up. And one thing that you got out of today that maybe you want to one learning that maybe you want to transform into action steps. Okay, I go first. And yeah, so my learning is, I'm really committed to sustainability. So I'm committing to all of you to get get a water container to store water, just in case water goes missing again. You can all come over here and get it. Okay, so okay, and what about you, Annie?
Well, it's the same. Like sustainability is the first word that pops up in my mind. Trying to, improve your habits very little by little, very slowly, but be conscious of how much we waste and try to reduce it, and what we put in our body, etc. Like to really pay attention to that.
Okay, great. Do you want to commit to one thing to the group in specifics to start with?
Well, I'll try. I try not to spend so much money on stupid things that I don't need. I try to ask myself whenever I want to spend some money, do I really need it? And not get so much junk in our houses.
Yes. Just like chemistry, there are a few basics we all need, and then we mix and match like a JV, and we got everything we need. Yeah,
that's it.
Good, just get the basics. And Michael?
I'm going to phase out all the customers that have differing ideologies to myself. Wow. I didn't want to really do that. I felt I had to be all inclusive in everybody that I helped and served. And there are some people that at this point in time, it's really tearing me up. And it's a small example of the other areas. And I want to be the change in the world that I'd like to see as well. That's the one.
Awesome, brother.
I love that one.
That's good.
Beautiful.
Feel it.
Very nice. Jillian?
I'll commit to my health as always, because it's so important for the future. And I feel the same way. 2050 is like just around the corner.
Yeah.
So just recycle and just commit to that. Better living.
Any crypto for you?
I'm going to research crypto. I still don't quite understand what it is, but I'll research it and see.
Okay, very good. Excellent. Thank you. Matt?
Do my research. Whether it's vaccines or crypto or anything else, do my research. It's something I already do, but it was really reinforced in this call. I think with crypto, I have a fear about buying too high. Well, I think Warren Buffett said he never bought at the bottom, he never sold at the top. So that puts everybody somewhere in the middle. So I will do my research before I do anything else. Thank you.
Excellent. We'll hold you to that. Enjoy that research. And David?
Yeah, hi. I was interested in the concept of partnering in something familiar with what you're doing that Matt talked about. I've got to think about how I can apply that to myself. I was just thinking, Michael, do you feel strong enough to keep the business with the unsatisfactory clients? Because I think you could have a positive effect on them. What do you think?
You're right on to me. It's pretty much why I've got them. As other people say, how can you put up with it? And I say, look, I make small progress. Every 3 or 4 visits, they'll concede on some fanatic idea that was wrong for their garden. And they'll go, no, we'll do it this way now. But self-development, and I try to heal and inspire people across the board. And there are some people that are challenging that I do keep on board because I do feel I'm making a difference, if that's what you mean.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, I thought of you actually just before, and thanks for mentioning me. I just thought, I hope you found, because you mentioned that you were looking for some inspiration, you're at a bit of a turning point, and you had a few options for the way forward with your skill bases that you've tried and tested. So I think it's a very exciting place. So I think, just keep on with all the what I call self-development, which doesn't mean we're not acceptable. It just means making us better and better. All our routines and health and fitness and inspiration. And I think it's all about, like, I love this show, connecting with the great people, because when you connect with new people, and especially if you can look up to them in some ways and find that they can look up to you as well, great progress of growth can be made. And like what Matt's saying with investment, whatever you're up for next, do a lot of research and don't jump into anything too fast.
Yep, thank you. Good plan.
Right. David, anything else you want to commit to, or does this feel good?
I'm just going to commit to deciding what I want to do with the rest of my life.
Wow, that's a big
That's
commitment.
a good one.
And
Just get started, okay? Get started.
Yeah.
That's what we hold you. That's beautiful. We love your enthusiasm and sincerity. And Jody, darling.
I'm going to attract the right people with the same vision. I'm getting ready to go into some coaching classes to become a coach, and I'm writing out a 2-year plan. So it's pretty much all encompassed into one. So I am doing it. I'm taking classes now, so I'm very proud.
Congratulations. That's fantastic. You'll do great. Enjoy.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. So for future masterminds, the link is always the same, worldbusinessmastermind.com. Join for free, invite some of your clients, your partners, loved ones, and please interact with one another in the private Facebook group. Here's the link. We're all partners or clients or friends. So for you, the weekly business coaching is complimentary. So, but if you want to invite loved ones, you can. And that's the link, groupbusinesscoaching.com. You did great. I'm also gonna bonus commitment, but I'll do it. I'll figure out the music so that I don't get copyright lawsuits again. And that next time we'll have a nice intro and outro, and you'll even be able to dance to it. Good or good? All right. So for today, you are my music, and thank you for your participation. You did great. So let this creativity fuel your month, and we will meet again at the same time, the first Wednesday of April. I keep you posted, and do my very best to bring on a co-host expert in one of those topics that you love so much. Have a great week and month, everybody. Thank you again. You're fantastic.
Okay, safe, everybody.
Elena, excellent job, everyone. All the best for the week ahead and a month.
yeah, thank you. Best wishes to everyone too.
Thank you. You too. Good job, David. Great to see you. Have a good night. I know it's late for you. You did great.
That's it. Yeah, bedtime now.
Hope this was helpful.
Yeah, thank you. It was. Yeah, very good. Okay, ciao. Take care.